Hi, I'm Karen Welton, and this is Becky Koch. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to interview Becky about her third birth. She also shared about her first and second birth in another video. So if you haven't seen that, feel free to watch that. But this one is unique all on its own, which I love. And you have such an ability to be intuitive in your births and connect to Jesus, which is so unique and powerful. Tell me a little bit about your third birth and what was going on in your life when you were getting ready.
We had just bought a house, and our move-in date was a week after labor had started for me. So
Wow.
we were getting down to the wire, and our move-in date was on 39 weeks, day 39.
Wow.
Or week 39.
Is that amazing how like every life transition seems to culminate at one time when you're having a baby?
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't know if you were going to have this baby at your old house or your new house?
Yes.
That's pretty stressful. How did you handle that so well?
I'm just giving it over to God every day. I would think about it every day, and we had seen so much that God had done in the house buying process and our previous labors, and I just knew that God was going to make it happen the way it was supposed to happen. So we just prepared the best we could.
Yeah.
And
Gave the rest over.
Yeah, just went with it.
Totally. So when did labor actually start?
It was 1 a.m. and I was 38 weeks, 2 days.
So before you moved. So you probably had boxes everywhere.
Boxes everywhere. Yeah.
And 2 little kids running around.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yikes. Okay, so 1 a.m. contractions start. And did you get to sleep at all?
Oh, yeah. I went right back to sleep. They were mild. They were very intermittent.
Okay.
But I knew that they were not Braxton Hicks because I had been through it before. And then, so the next day, I called my mom. I called my sister. They like to be there when I'm having the babies. And they came over, and we just relaxed, watched movies. It was nice weather, so I got to take a walk with my sister. And that was like 4 or 5 p.m. when they started getting to the point where I had to like breathe through them.
Oh, so you took a walk around 4 or 5 p.m. and then you started feeling them. So before that, from 1 a.m. through the night and that day, they were pretty like sporadic and mild.
Yeah.
Just kind of going about your day as normal.
Packing.
Packing. Yes, got to get the packing in. That'll probably help labor too, like all that labor. So 5 p.m. you're walking, they start really picking up, and you go to the hospital soon after that.
Yep.
So when do you get to the hospital? 6 p.m. And what's that like, in the hospital?
It was peaceful. So they had switched over to evening shift, and there was not a lot of like chaos going on.
It's always a little more calm in the hospitals at night.
Yeah, definitely. So they had the lights dim in the room for me, and we just kind of sat there. My husband was on his phone doing whatever, and I just sit there, and for each contraction, I would just sit back and breathe and shut my eyes and just focus on the peace of Jesus. And that's how I did that one.
Yeah, so you just kind of like reclined in bed as the contractions rolled over you. Did you imagine them like as representing anything or like looking like anything? Like what would you focus on?
When they happen, I kind of just imagine my body just like my uterus squeezing and pushing. I just see that, and then I also have the peace of God at the same time, and
so you're not scared of it, and so they don't hurt.
Right.
So you didn't experience any pain this whole process.
No, not at that point.
Did you ever experience any fear or pain in the labors? Like, did it ever feel different, or was it always just like this peaceful, like contracting?
Just with the third one, or all of them?
Well, any of them.
With the first one, there was a little more inhibition, and there was a little bit of fear with that one, so I fought against the contractions more unintentionally. But with the other ones, I knew how to embrace them, knew how to let them do their work, knew how to use them. And then with the third one, I had tried. So with my second one, being on all fours was the most comfortable and didn't hurt. I tried that with the third one, and that did not feel nice. So leaning back and just looking, like closing my eyes, just breathing through, that was the most comfortable for that one.
Yeah. Wow. It's so funny because like we think we figure out, oh, this is the position that works. Like hands and knees works for me. And then you get into your next labor, or you go from early labor to active labor, and what worked then doesn't work now.
That was exactly my mindset. I'm like, yep, gonna do hands and knees. And then my body was like, no.
Okay, gotta do it another way. Yeah, like, because it's not about like the right position. It's all about our intuition, because you're gonna know the right position to be in when you're in that moment. Like, that's what I tell women who are like, what position should I push in? What position should I labor in? It's like, there's no right answer. Like, you're gonna know. Your instinct will tell you in that moment.
Or trial and error.
Or trial and error. Like, this works. Nope, this doesn't work. And you're gonna know, like, right away, right? Like, you knew, like, nope, this isn't working. Totally. Like, you're just gonna feel it. So you're in the bed. Like, it like sounds like they gave you a lot of peace and like quiet to let you just labor without interrupting you.
Yes.
What happened after? So you were doing that for, you were breathing through them without pain. And after 4 hours, you said like you felt something change.
Yes. In that 4 hours, God did mention to me, we didn't know the gender of the baby. We didn't find out for any of them. But in sometime in that 4 hours, my husband had left the room and I was by myself, and God spoke to me. He said, I'm so excited for him to come. And I thought it was so sweet for him to say about my baby. But he told me it was a boy. So.
But that's kind of cool when God spoils it.
I don't mind that.
Not as fun when like it's a nurse. That's so special. Oh my goodness. It's like God already knew that child.
Yes.
Of course he does.
Yes.
So what happened next?
Then around 10-ish, I just felt God telling me, you have to get down on all fours and crouch down low to get things to progress. And because I knew when I got on all fours, I felt a lot more like of that uncomfortable pressure. My water still hadn't broken. So I said, all right. I had been hesitant up until that point. I had heard him mention it a little bit back, but I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And I told my husband, this might break my water. You need to get that call button in your hand and call the nurse in right away. So he was ready to go. I got down on all fours, crouched all the way down, and I felt the like pop.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was like almost chest down. Well, as far as you can get. Yeah. Felt the pop of the water, and the baby's head just shot right down. I felt it hit the bottom of whatever it is down there.
Like your perineum or your
whatever.
Floor.
Yeah.
So you felt the whole baby shift down your birth canal.
Oh, yeah.
In that moment.
Yeah.
Like a piston.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
That had to be so intense.
It was weird.
But like, imagine how many women will stay in bed for hours and hours pushing just to move that baby down. And here God speaks to you, says, get in this position. And it does all that work in a moment.
Yeah.
Like water breaks, baby shoots down. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it happened that fast. Like,
wow. Like, you're so tuned in. Like, how much effort and hours did that save you just to like be connected to God's voice like that? That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So what happened after that? Like, your baby shoots down. Like, what did you do?
Yeah. So water had splashed all over off the side of the bed.
Right.
The poor
the
nurse
water
had
broke?
to walk in. Yeah.
Did it go everywhere?
It was, like blasted off
like
the bed.
immediately after you got into that position, it just like popped.
Yep. Yeah.
You must have been like, whoa.
Yeah. And my husband pushed the call button. He's like, we need a nurse in here.
Is he freaking out?
My husband does a little bit.
You meanwhile, you're like calm and cool. Like, God told me that would happen.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm like on my knees. At that point, being on my knees for pushing was cool. Grabbed the head of the bed and pushing. And at some point between contractions, I was aware of the presence of angels, like 1, 2, 3 of them ish.
Wow, like in front of you?
Yep, in front and around. Yeah,
around you.
And I told my husband in between contractions that there are angels here. God is so excited, and we were both happy about that. I also, in between other contractions, I was laughing about how sweaty I was. I don't know why that was funny to me at the time. I'm like, I'm really sweaty.
So you're like, wait a second, you're like pushing, fully dilated, pushing this baby who's like at your perineum. And you're laughing about how sweaty you are and seeing angels in the room.
Yeah.
That's like the way to do it. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so funny. So like, what did pushing feel like?
Same thing with this one. It feels really good to work with contractions and do something along with my body to make it happen. Feeling the progress.
Did you feel like this overwhelming urge to bear down? Like your body like almost pushing out instinctively, like without you even having to like...
Yep.
So it like told you what to do.
Yep.
So like all these women out there who are like, how am I going to know how to push? Like they have to, like a lot of medical professionals believe we have to teach you how to push. Did your body teach you? Like how did you know?
Yeah, it was just, my body told me when to do it. Like your body does it on its own.
It does it.
Yeah.
Like you can't not push.
Right, yeah.
Like your uterus is like, nope, this baby's getting pushed out.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally. That's awesome. How long were you pushing for this one?
Just about 10-ish minutes.
Wow.
10, yeah.
That's awesome. And you didn't have any pain?
No.
Wow.
Just during when I was crouching down, that was uncomfortable. And yeah, but that was brief and it was necessary to get things going.
And it sure did. Wow. And you saw the angels, and then what happened after he was born?
When he was born, that one...
Did he come out all at once?
It was a few pushes, I think. And they had him behind and they passed him up through my legs.
Okay.
So I was the first one to know, besides them, first one to know that he was a boy.
Yeah.
Also because God had told me, but...
Oh, right.
But, you have to verify.
But then you could see him. Yeah. So they passed him through your legs and you caught him and held him and then sat back. What did that feel like?
Great. Yeah. Like, so accomplished. Like when, I don't know if you've ever run a race, like...
Yeah, like accomplishing a goal in your life or like a marathon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. And how did everyone else react to it?
The nurse later, after I was all cleaned up and we were heading over to the recovery room, the nurse said, that was really beautiful. I'm really honored that I got to see that. And at my 6-week appointment afterward, the midwife who delivered him said that she wished that she could have gotten it on video to encourage other moms to have, the drug-free, natural, beautiful labors like that.
Wow.
To show how it can be done.
Yeah. I find it so amazing sometimes that how rare it can be for even medical professionals and birth workers to see all natural birth. Like it's just so common to like have the medicalized route and the epidurals and everything else that when they see like a beautiful natural instinctual birth, they're like, wow, thank you. I love like seeing those reactions and it's real because like, it's genuine and you must have been so proud of yourself. So like third baby came out and I love that you just knew like what position to go in. You were seeing the angels. You just like, you had peace in your heart and you're pregnant with your fourth now. So you must be believing for a fourth pain-free delivery.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's see what God does this time.
Yes. I can't wait.
Yay. So you're looking forward to labor with like excitement.
Yeah. And each one was so different. I'm just really looking forward to like, what surprise does he have for me this time? I
love that. God's like, oh, I'm going to hide these little surprises for her. And like this beautiful, almost like he's playing a game sometimes.
Yeah.
Like a good one.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your story. If you could say anything to other moms, like what would you share with them?
It's same as last time.
Go watch the video.
Yeah, pretty much just practice getting into that zone where you're focusing on Jesus, focusing on God and the peace, and you're better able to listen and feel. And it's not always audible. Like, I don't know if I've ever actually audibly heard God's voice, but you just get a sense. And sometimes he'll just plant ideas in your head. Just practice that.
Yes. It's so subtle. It's almost like a thought could go by, and if you don't catch it and go, wait a second, and like be obedient to it, you could miss it. And I've heard so many women who will say afterwards, oh, I knew I should have done this or that. I wish I followed my instincts. Because in my gut, I just knew I should have done that. And it's like, that's how God speaks to us. And I just love that because it's like, it doesn't have to be a big booming voice. It can be a flash of an image, a thought that like runs across your mind. And and that can help you. Like, how much did that help you in labor? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.